What the heck is going on, everybody? Lunchtime here, bringing you the complete guide to Modern Warfare 2 movement with 5 movement methods to master. Now, I've been grinding S&D wages a ton and have been doing my best to master Modern Warfare 2 movement, so I thought I'd share what I've learned with you guys. And first and most important is the fast drop shot. This will save your ass from sticky situations where you get caught sprinting. It is incredibly hard to keep up with from the enemy. In the upcoming clips, I'm going to show you what it looks like in game, both from your perspective and the perspective of your opponents. And now for how to do it. First things first, you're going to need some forward momentum. If you can see in my controller on the bottom right, we're going into a tactical sprint forward. And the important thing is, unlike a normal drop shot where you go straight to the ground aiming in, you have backwards momentum as you're drop shotting. So from here, as you hold the drop shot, if you see on the bottom left, my left stick is going backwards, and that's what makes the fast drop shot fast. So practice it a couple times. If you have somebody in the lobby with you, they can let you know if you're hitting it or not. It's not terribly consistent to where it will work every single time, but if you get in the habit of every time you bump into somebody, making sure you back up as you drop shot, every now and then you will hit the fast drop shot and it will be impossible to kill you. This has saved me from plenty of sticky situations and won me a bunch of gunfights that I probably shouldn't have won in the first place. So get in the habit of doing this when you're playing Modern Warfare 2. Movement method number 2 is a little on the flashier side. It is essentially the backwards drop shot. When you guys are trying to do the fast drop shot, you might accidentally hit the, oh, see, I did a fast drop shot right there. When you guys are trying to do the fast drop shot, you might accidentally hit the backwards dolphin dive. It doesn't really do too much in game other than look really weird. But in case you guys are interested in knowing how to do that, it's essentially the same thing as the fast drop shot, but instead of pulling back on the analog stick first and then holding circle, you hit circle first and then go backwards on your analog stick. It helps that there's a rotational component in there as well from your right stick. So if you'll see, as I turn the corner here, what I'm going to do is press and hold circle to do the dolphin dive as I'm turning to the left and going backwards with my analog stick. And if I time it just right, you will end up doing a sideways or backwards dolphin dive. It looks really weird from the opponent's POV. Probably not going to win you as many gunfights as the fast drop shot, but it's just weird enough to where you might catch people off guard while doing it. Tip number 2.5, one thing I wanted to mention as well is the tac sprint reset. So as you're running, when you end up running out of tactical sprint, the way to reset it is just with a quick melee and then you're back to it again. It's not going to last for as long as the first time that you tac sprint, but when you're getting to your rush routes on S&D, it's important to know how to keep your tac sprint going so you can get places as fast as you need to get to them. Tip number 3, and my favorite of them all, is the popcorn hop. This essentially breaks the peeker advantage. So let's say you're laying down right here. If you're holding the mid push and somebody comes around from the corner and they're pre-aiming for you right here, they will have an advantage because they're the one that's coming around the wall. And the way that you break that, if you're holding an angle like this, is with the popcorn hop. What that looks like is a double jump just from the laying down position. It doesn't look like too much on my screen right now, but from your opponent's point of view, as they come around the corner, they might not be all the way centered down at the ground. They might be up here. As they're having to move their aim down to adjust to you being laying on the ground, you're going to hop up and you essentially teleport up in the air. So if they're here having to adjust to you down low and then you jump up high, they're having to go up and down more than they should in the middle of a gunfight. And that's going to give you the advantage that they initially had, and that you're the target that's moving and they have to keep up with you rather than the other way around. So in the upcoming clips, I'll show you what that looks like, both from your perspective doing the popcorn hop and the perspective of the person that you're killing. This is my favorite movement method, the one that I use the most often. And like I said, this will win you a ton of gunfights that you otherwise wouldn't because they have the initial advantage. All that you have to do is double tap the jump button from the laying down position. Another movement tip that I'll throw in here is the Modern Warfare 2 version of the slide cancel. As you guys know, there isn't much of a slide cancel in this game. Pretty much once you hit the slide, you're stuck there. However, there is a way to cancel it in order to have you shoot as you're sliding and stop the slide a little bit sooner than normal. The only reason I could see somebody wanting to do this is if you slide or are already planning a slide as you see somebody come around a corner or something like that and want to shoot them earlier. So how it is now, let's say somebody was coming around that gate as I tap slide. If I'm holding down the shoot button as I slide, it takes that long before I can shoot. However, the two methods are either a YY or a Simtex pull and then a Y. And what that allows you to do is shoot a lot faster even during your slide. So that was the Simtex version. This is the YY. So again, something very situational. I'm not even really putting it in the top 5, but something that I thought I'd mention if you're trying to master the movement of Modern Warfare 2. Movement tip number 4. This is mainly for AR players. We're talking about the crouch spam. As you see on my controller on the bottom right, you are just tapping circle, whatever your crouch button might be. Similar to the popcorn hop, this will change where your body is located at, and your opponent will have to continuously make adjustments in their aim, rather than you just holding the angle or simply strafing. You pair that with a crouch spam, and I'll show you what that looks like from both POVs and why you should incorporate that into your gameplay. Again, this is mainly going to be for AR players who are in those longer range gunfights that last a little bit longer than SMGs. Stop crying. But as an SMG player, you can incorporate that into your jiggle peaks and whatnot, so you're not just simply strafing to the right. your body will be moving and they won't be able to track you as easily. Movement tip number 5, and the one that I hope you guys are already incorporating into your gameplay, is the jump shot. This one works more situationally than most. In Modern Warfare 2, you don't get as strong of aim assist, and it's just harder to aim in general when you're jumping. So if somebody was playing a deep heady or something like that, I wouldn't necessarily try to jump out and beam them off the heady, just because it's going to be harder to take that aim in the first place. However, if you know that somebody's like in this corner here or something like that, instead of strafing around the corner and taking it slow, you need to give yourself the peeker's advantage we were talking about earlier and send a big camera their way by jumping across the screen, pairing that with the tac sprint as well. That will give you the edge in that gunfight right there. But anyways, that is the complete movement guide to Modern Warfare 2. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, let me know with a like or a sub. Now I'll catch you guys next time at lunchtime.